Hi, I'm Shashank Bhargava, and you're listening to Three Things, the Indian Express news show. With less than a month left for the Haryana Assembly elections to begin, the ruling BJP party is struggling to get its act together. Over the past few weeks, more than 36 of its leaders have quit, a couple of senior members have decided not to contest the elections, and all at a time when the main opposition party has inducted two of India's biggest Olympians, Vinesh Phogat and Bajrang Punia, who previously had been protesting against former BJP MP and President of the Wrestling Federation of India, Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, accusing him of sexually harassing women wrestlers. And so in this episode, we are talking about the crisis inside the Haryana BJP, what Vinesh and Bajrang's induction means for the Congress, and also the challenges that the Saffron party has been facing with its alliance partners at the centre. And for this, we first speak to Indian Express's Varinder Bhatia, who begins by telling us just how crucial Haryana is for the BJP.
See, it is for sure a battle of prestige for the ruling BJP as the party is seeking a third consecutive term in the state. They won in 2014, forming the government with the absolute majority, which was the first time for the BJP in Haryana. In 2019 also, although they did not reach the majority mark, but they still formed the government. And this time they are eyeing to come back for a third term. You see, why is it more important this time? Because after losing Delhi and Punjab to Aam Aadmi Party, BJP is not ready to lose another northern state. And although anti-incumbency is there, but the ruling party is still hopeful that it will form the government for the third time in Haryana.
And could you tell us how the party managed to perform in the Lok Sabha polls this time?
The vote share of BJP dipped by nearly 12% in 2024 Lok Sabha polls if we compare it with 2019, while the Congress managed to increase its vote share by 15%. So in all, BJP lost 5 out of 10 seats that they had won in 2019, and Congress won 5 seats here.
And Varinder, there is now less than a month left for the polls to begin, and the party, we understand, does not find itself in a very strong position, and there seems to be a lot of uncertainty. Tell us some of the biggest reasons for that.
There could be various reasons, but definitely anti-incumbency of 10 years is one of the primary factors. Also, the BJP itself appears to be on an unsure platform as of now. You see, right from the beginning, the elections were preponed. Otherwise, the government's tenure ends on 3rd November. In 2019, the elections were held in October last week. But this time now we are having it in October first week. The party wrote to Election Commission seeking postponing of elections by 1 week. They cited reasons that there is a Saturday, Sunday before the polling date, and then there is October 2 and 3, which are again holidays. There is a festival of Bishnois in neighboring Rajasthan. So all sorts of reasons were given by the BJP requesting Election Commission that they are apprehending that the vote percentage may fall if the dates are not changed. So all these kind of unsure factors are coming out in the play. And of course, there is a resurgence of Congress. And barely a couple of months ago in June, Congress has managed to make a comeback. They have won 5 seats as compared to 0 in 2019. They have managed to increase their vote share by 15%. Of course, all these things are adding to the worries of BJP.
Also, initially, there was a delay in the party releasing its list of candidates. And then once it did, we saw a number of its leaders revolt. What do we know is the reason for this?
See, since September 4, when the party released its first list of 67 candidates, over 36 of its former MLAs, various district level position holders, and other senior leaders have quit the party. There have been videos surfacing all over the social media where the party's former MLAs who were seeking tickets this time, they were found weeping and crying and sounding rebellion against their own party in front of their supporters. And still we are expecting that there could be more rebellion in the coming days as and when the party releases the list of the remaining candidates.
हमारा लिस्ट में नाम आएगा
हौसला के बताइए आपकी कर्मठ तब दिखेगी पार्टी को सबको दिखेगी नहीं
मुझे आश्वासन देना पड़ता हमको कि मैं टिकट की बात बढ़ेगी और उनकी हिम्मत बनानी पड़ती तो मैं क्या करूं मैं भी असहाय हूं
And of course, there's a discontent within the party. But the BJP senior leadership here in Haryana, they are confident and they are saying that they have kept the winnability and caste combinations while finalizing the candidates, and they'll be surely able to pacify the agitated leaders.
And Varinder, when we talk about the Haryana Chief Minister Nayab Singh Saini, he was brought in 5 months before the Lok Sabha polls to replace Manohar Lal Khattar. How strong of a leader and a CM face is he for the party at the moment?
The Chief Minister Nayab Singh Saini, he comes from the OBC community, and to my information, I think that he's the first Chief Minister in Haryana who has come from OBC community. But in the absence of a mass Jat support, because you see, Congress is headed by Jat leader, who's Bhupinder Singh Hooda. INLD is headed by Jat leader Abhay Singh Chautala and his father Om Prakash Chautala. JJP is also headed by Dushyant Chautala, who again comes from the Jat community. So BJP feels that it needs to at least consolidate the non-Jat vote bank in Haryana. But frankly, Nayab Singh Saini, he did not get much time to perform due to back-to-back elections. Since March, when he took over, he has barely got 55 to 60 days to function, because most of the days, first due to parliament elections and now due to Vidhan Sabha elections, the model code of conduct remain imposed in the state. And of course, like the party's high command will be deciding that which candidate will get to contest from which constituency. But since 2014, Nayab Singh Saini has changed his seats thrice. In 2014, he won for the first time as an MLA from Narayangarh seat. In 2019, he did not contest the assembly polls, but he contested Lok Sabha polls from Kurukshetra, and he won from that seat. In 2024, when he took over from Manohar Lal Khattar and became the Chief Minister of Haryana, he contested the by-poll from Karnal seat. He, of course, won from there as well, but this time his seat has been changed to Ladwa. So the opposition is attacking him by saying that he's unsure about his win, and that's why he's looking for a safe seat to contest, and this is why he is now gone to Ladwa.
Right, and while all this has been going on, two of India's biggest wrestlers, Vinesh Phogat and Bajrang Punia, joined the Congress last week. How much is that expected to hurt the party?
See, the perception is that Congress is definitely gaining support on ground. Of course, after Lok Sabha polls, they have been gaining their vote share as well. But definitely with the induction of Vinesh Phogat and Bajrang Punia, particularly at this critical juncture where BJP is facing anti-incumbency, there are farmers' protests going on. And of course, the memories of the wrestlers' protest at Jantar Mantar will again come to the fore. And Congress definitely is going to take both Vinesh Phogat and Bajrang Punia to all the constituencies and create a wave in their favor.
Now, what Varinder told us about Vinesh and Bajrang was echoed by Indian Express's Asad Rehman, especially considering that both these wrestlers are from the Jat community and, more importantly, garner the respect of thousands in the country.
So these two wrestlers were both faces of the protests against the charges leveled by several female wrestlers against Wrestling Federation of India president at the time, Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, who also happens to be a BJP MP from Uttar Pradesh.
इतना मेंटल टॉर्चर हुई थी कि मैं मरने तक की स्टेज तक चली गई थी. मैं हर दिन खुदकुशी करने की सोच रही थी. क्या मैं अगर मेरे को कुछ हो जाता, मेरी फैमिली क्या करती, मतलब मेरे बाद कौन जिम्मेदारी लेता है इस चीज की. और मैं आज भी बोल रही हूँ, अगर किसी भी खिलाड़ी को कुछ भी हो गया रेसलिंग में, तो प्रेसिडेंट देश जो हमारे रेसलिंग प्रेसिडेंट है वो जिम्मेदार रहेंगे, हमारी फेडरेशन जिम्मेदार उस चीज की.
So these two were the main faces of those protests, and they spoke on multiple occasions about safety of women and safety of women in athletics, in sports. Then these two also lent support to the farmers' agitation when the farmers protested against the 3 farm laws brought by the centre, which were eventually repealed. So they were also part of that. Then they were also against the Agniveer scheme brought by the central government, under which the central government plans to hire personnel for the army through a new recruitment process, which is not as permanent and as reliable as the earlier version of recruitment was. Also, you will have to consider that both of them come from the Jat community, and the Jat community in Haryana is going to play a very important role in terms of deciding who does well in the elections. And now the Congress has also announced that while Vinesh Phogat will contest the Julana Assembly seat, Bajrang Punia has been made the working president of the All India Kisan organization of the Congress.
Right, so by picking them, the Congress hopes to get support from the Jat community, the farming community, those associated with wrestling, and youngsters who aspire to join the army. But tell us what these wrestlers have said about why they wanted to join the Congress party.
Both Vinesh and Bajrang spoke about the campaign, in their words, started by the BJP IT cell. They spoke about how the IT cell was celebrating when Vinesh Phogat was disqualified during the Paris Olympics. Then they also spoke about how the Congress and the opposition parties were with them during the time of the protest by female wrestlers. Then they've also spoken about how the Congress and the opposition together has been by their side in their difficult time. And Vinesh also said that, बुरे वक्त में पता चलता है कि अपना कौन है. Meaning that in your bad time, you know who's really close to you. So she was indirectly saying that it was the Congress who supported them at the time when they were going through a difficult phase, when the protests were happening. And Vinesh also spoke about that how when they were being dragged on the street, it was the Congress and the opposition which stood behind them, and the BJP did not. And the BJP supported, in their words, the action against them by the Delhi police in terms of like trying to disperse them and not let them protest at Jantar Mantar.
कांग्रेस पार्टी का मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करती हूँ, क्योंकि जब बोलते हैं ना कि बुरे टाइम में पता लगता है कि अपना कौन है. जब हम रोड पे घसीटे जा रहे थे तो छोड़ के बीजेपी को देश में जितनी भी पार्टियां हैं वो हमारे साथ में थी, हमारे दर्द को समझ पा रही थी, हमारे आंसुओं को समझ पा रही थी. मैं बहुत प्राउड फील कर रही हूँ कि मैं एक ऐसी पार्टी में, एक ऐसी विचारधारा में हूँ जो महिलाओं के साथ हो रहा अन्याय और उनके साथ बुरे बर्ताव के खिलाफ खड़ी है. वो लड़ाई लड़ने के तैयार है, सड़क से लेकर संसद तक.
And Asad, the other thing is that Vinesh is joining Congress weeks after the conclusion of the Paris Olympics, during which, even though she could not win a medal, she was certainly hailed as a winner when she came back. So can you talk about that aspect and that timing a bit?
So, despite her disqualification, Vinesh, with all the background that's happened over the last couple of years, the protests, one of their leaders said that she is a banduk se nikla hua kartoos, which means that she's way past her prime. And then some members of the BJP said that she doesn't want to contest in the national championship, or she doesn't want to give the trial to go to the Olympics. Despite all those challenges, she still made it through, and she contested in the nationals also. Then she gave the trial also for the Olympics, and she went to the Olympics and beat the reigning world champion there. So despite her disqualification, in a lot of ways, the people of the country and the people who support her and who watch wrestling feel that she was hard done by the rules and the regulations under which she was declared overweight. So she did go through a lot of adversity, and despite not winning the medal, I feel on some level the people of the country still feel that she did what she could and was disqualified on a technical ground. But she still won the match, and she still reached the gold medal match and was disqualified, and that's a different thing. But there is that sentiment, not just in Haryana, but across the country, that she's returned a winner. And that's why we saw this huge welcome for her at the airport and everywhere else, that even at the Congress party office that day when she was there were lots of people who just came to the Congress party office, broke through barricades and entered just to catch a glimpse of Vinesh. So that is part of the Congress's pitch too, that she was disqualified, but she won her matches, and she was disqualified on a technical issue. But the Congress has also spoken about how she's a winner, and the Congress is also saying that she's going to win the election as well.
Now, so far we have been talking about the problems the BJP is facing in Haryana. But this is not it. For the past 3 months, since the conclusion of the Lok Sabha polls, the party has been facing challenges at the centre as well. Because unlike in its previous 2 terms, this time the BJP is having to make accommodations for its allies, who played a crucial role in its returning to power as part of the NDA. After securing a thumping majority in both 2014 and 2019, the BJP did not really need to consult its alliance partners on key issues. But this has completely changed this time around. When we spoke to Indian Express's deputy editor Mathew, she mentioned that at least initially, the party tried to project that everything was business as usual.
See, immediately after June 4th, Prime Minister Modi had given a hint that nothing much has changed. There is that continuity. I am focusing on the continuity thing. And the BJP has the say in every decision, whether it is government formation or the policy decisions.
She mentions that in the first few weeks, almost every alliance partner, whether it was the Telugu Desam Party, Janata Dal United, or even the Lok Shakti Party, they all showed respect for Prime Minister Modi's image. But Liz says that this honeymoon period is now over. And this is evident in the fact that in the past 3 months, the government has rolled back or amended at least 3 key decisions, including lateral entry into the bureaucracy, the controversial broadcast bill, and the Waqf Board bill, which had raised concerns within the Muslim community. And these reversals only came about after the alliance partners put their foot down.
Even the TDP, which otherwise is seen as focusing on the economic development in their state, because Chandrababu Naidu, who had focused on the economy of the state in his previous role as the chief minister, now came to power after 10 years. So he has a lot to do. The state is facing a major economic crisis. So his focus is on that. Even that party had put their foot down. The JDU, which on the floor of the house supported the bill, the union minister Rajiv Ranjan sounded like he is supporting. He said, how can you say that the bill is against Muslims? He said it on the floor of the house. But the JDU later said, no, we haven't taken a stand whether we are supporting the bill or not. We are still in consultation with the stakeholders in the state, in Bihar. We will come back to say our stand on that. And LJP, we have seen, in several, whether it is lateral entry or even Waqf thing, LJP was very open and vocal about what it says,
जिस तरीके से ये नियुक्तियां निकाली हैं, कतई हम लोग इसका समर्थन नहीं करते और खास तौर पर सरकारी नियुक्तियां कोई भी हों, उसमें आरक्षण के प्रावधानों का ध्यान रखने की जरूरत है. आप कोई भी सरकारी नियुक्तियां बिना इन प्रावधानों के नहीं कर सकते. प्राइवेट सेक्टर में
one thing is that the parties from Bihar, like whether it is JDU or LJP, they have to see that they are protecting their constituencies, and their support base. They cannot afford to do anything to hurt that.
In fact, she says that just being in an alliance with the BJP forces them to justify the decision to a specific section of their support base.
I mean, we have seen how many months it has taken for Prime Minister Modi to withdraw the farm bills, despite the massive protest the country has witnessed all across the country. Even then he took a while. But here, the withdrawal, the rollbacks happens like in 48 hours. So even the others, when they see that the government is on a slightly slippery wicket, the opposition also will raise their, voice against, and they are also more emboldened, not just in number, in terms of confidence also they are emboldened. So the BJP is that the golden period seems to be over.
Now this year, the party is preparing itself for 4 assembly elections. And Liz says that if the BJP fails to win at least 2 of them, then it will create significant challenges for both the party and the Prime Minister to navigate the next 5 years successfully.
Suppose if the BJP loses like 4 elections, I'm just hypothetically, 4 elections if BJP loses, then there will be issues in the party. Like I was talking to a BJP leader for Haryana, to talk about or to kind of make an assessment about what is happening in Haryana. The leader said, the going to election with Prime Minister's popularity, that single point agenda has changed, because even Rahul Gandhi as a leader of opposition is not behaving like the Rahul Gandhi as somebody who had taken out the Bharat Jodo Yatra. He is changed. And the party's voice is changed. The way they are criticizing everything is changed. So that if you go to the street and talk to people also, you can see the change. People don't think twice to criticize the government and also point out the mistakes. BJP somewhere lost that narrative, lost that steam, that which used to push the party and even the prime ministers, that image.
For example, she points out that during the Lok Sabha elections and even now, it is the BJP that has been on the defensive, which was not the case in the first two terms.
And it is continuing now. See, 240 after two terms is not a small number. If you look back to the Indian political history or Indian electoral history, in the recent past, no party could come back with third time and also with such a huge number, 240. But even then, because the narrative the BJP had created of we are coming back with 400 plus, so as a party we will be coming over 300 plus, then it came back came down to 240. There is the issue. Actually it is something that created by the BJP only. But on the first day, the Congress was behaving as if they got 400 and the BJP was behaving we got only 240. And one line Rahul Gandhi had said in the house that हमने एक चीज कर दिया, हमने इनका कॉन्फिडेंस छीन लिया.
पहला कदम इंडिया गठबंधन ने ले लिया, आपके प्रधानमंत्री की कॉन्फिडेंस को हमने उड़ा दिया. मतलब आपके प्रधानमंत्री भाषण में आ ही नहीं पा रहे.
That is actually true. If you see even Rahul Gandhi's speech, Prime Minister Modi had to get up and respond to it, and the Home Minister, who's, has an equally strong image, he had tried to kind of intervene 3 times in his speech, which never happened in the last 10 years. So that in the narrative and in the perception, BJP and its government looked to be weaker than in the real picture.
You were listening to 3 Things by The Indian Express. Today's show was written and produced by me, Shashank Bhargava, and was edited and mixed by Suresh Pawar. If you like the show, then do subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also recommend the show to someone you think will like it, share it with a friend or someone in your family. It's the best way for people to get to know about us. You can tweet us at Express Podcasts and write to us at podcasts@indianexpress.com.